Most of us wake up at 3 a.m. for the same reason, and it has nothing to do with age. You've been drinking the wrong thing before bed. You probably believe that staying hydrated with plain water before sleep is healthy. But here's what happens. Plain water disrupts your sleep cycle, forces bathroom trips, and leaves you exhausted by morning. What if I told you there's a specific drink that does the opposite? Think about your last few nights. You lie down around 10 p.m. feeling tired. For maybe an hour or two, sleep feels good. Then suddenly, at 2 or 3 a.m., you wake up needing to use the bathroom. Maybe you fall back asleep. Maybe you don't. Either way, the rest of your night is fragmented, lighter, less restorative. You wake up the next morning feeling like you didn't really sleep at all. Your body feels stiff, your mind feels foggy, and somewhere around 2 p.m., you hit that wall. That overwhelming fatigue that makes you want to close your eyes right there at the dinner table. If this is your reality, you're not alone. And the good news is, what you drink in the evening might be the simplest thing to change. Let's build a healthy community here. Comment your age and where you're watching from. I want to see how many people are serious about improving their health. Over the next few minutes, we're going to talk about why your current evening routine might be working against you, what your body actually needs in the hours before bed, and what specific drink, one you can probably make with things you already have, can help you sleep deeply and wake up refreshed. This isn't complicated, and it's not going to feel restrictive. It's about working with your body instead of against it. Let's build a healthy community here. Comment your age and where you're watching from. I want to see how many people are serious about improving their health. Let me start with something that might surprise you. Plain water before bed is not your friend when it comes to uninterrupted sleep. I'm not saying water is bad. Your body needs water. But timing and type matter enormously. When you drink plain water in the evening, it enters your system quickly and moves through your body without adding any calming or sleep-supporting compounds. Your kidneys process it, your bladder fills, and you're woken up not because you're a light sleeper or because you're getting older, but because your body is doing exactly what it was designed to do. It's like setting an alarm for yourself without realizing it. But here's what most people don't understand. Your body has natural rhythms that support sleep. As evening comes, your body is supposed to release melatonin, a hormone that tells your brain it's time to wind down. Your core temperature is supposed to drop slightly. Your digestion is supposed to slow. Your muscles are supposed to relax. These aren't things that just happen randomly. They're orchestrated by your nervous system, and they can be supported or hindered by what you consume. Plain water doesn't support any of these natural processes. In fact, by flooding your system with liquid that offers no nutritional benefit to your sleep, you're just adding work for your kidneys and bladder without any payoff. The beautiful part is this: there are drinks that do the opposite. There are drinks that work with your body's natural evening rhythms instead of against them. And I'm not talking about something exotic or expensive. I'm talking about something you can make in your own kitchen. Let me tell you about Tart cherry juice. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Cherry juice sounds sweet and sugary, not something you'd drink before bed. But Tart cherry juice is different from regular cherry juice, and the research on it is quite remarkable. Tart cherry juice contains natural melatonin, the same melatonin your body produces, just in a plant-based form. When you drink it in the evening, you're not forcing anything into your system. You're giving your body a natural compound that says, it's okay to wind down now. Your brain recognizes it. Your body responds to it. And unlike synthetic melatonin supplements, this is coming from a food source that your body knows how to process. But here's what makes it even more effective. Tart cherry juice also contains compounds called anthocyanins. These are what give the cherries their deep red color, and they have a calming effect on your nervous system. They're not sedating in a way that makes you foggy or dependent. They're more like a gentle signal that helps your body transition from daytime alertness to evening rest. The research, and I'm talking about real clinical studies, not marketing claims, shows that people who drink Tart cherry juice regularly fall asleep faster, sleep more deeply, and wake up fewer times during the night. Some studies show an average of 30 minutes more sleep per night. For someone who's been waking at 3 a.m., that could mean the difference between a fragmented, exhausting night and a genuinely restorative one. Now, you might be wondering, is it really that simple? Can one drink really change how I sleep? And here's my honest answer. it's not just about the drink. It's about the drink being part of a pattern that supports your body's natural evening rhythm. But yes, the drink itself is that powerful, especially for seniors, because as we age, our bodies produce less natural melatonin. So giving your body a small, natural boost in the evening is exactly what many of us need. The reason this works better than plain water is because you're not just hydrating. You're hydrating while also providing your body with a compound that supports sleep. It's like the difference between just adding gas to your car versus adding gas and giving the engine exactly what it needs to run smoothly. So let's talk about how to use this. You don't need much. About 1 to 2 ounces of Tart cherry juice mixed with water if you prefer it less concentrated, about 2 to 3 hours before bed. Some people like it warm, some like it room temperature, or even chilled. What matters is that you're getting the compound into your system with enough time for your body to recognize it before you try to sleep. The timing is important. You want to drink this when you're transitioning out of your active day, but before you're lying down. So if you go to bed at 10 p.m., drinking this around 7 or 8 p.m. gives your body time to process it. You're not flooding your system right before sleep, which means you're less likely to wake up needing to use the bathroom in the middle of the night. And here's something else that matters: how you drink it. This isn't something you chug. You sip it slowly, almost mindfully. As you sip, you're already starting to signal to your nervous system that the day is winding down. You're creating a ritual, and that ritual itself becomes part of the sleep process. Have you ever noticed how a warm drink in the evening just feels calming, even before it does anything physical? That's not just comfort. That's your nervous system responding to the ritual and the warmth. So here's what I want you to think about. What's your current evening routine before bed? Is it supporting your sleep, or is it working against it? This is what I mean when I say this is empowering. You don't need a prescription. You don't need a sleep study. You don't need to spend hours in a sleep clinic. You need to understand what your body is asking for and give it that. For many seniors, Tart cherry juice is exactly what's missing. Now, I want to be clear about something. Tart cherry juice isn't a magic bullet. If you're drinking coffee at 6 p.m. or you're stressed about finances, or you're not moving your body during the day, the juice alone won't fix everything. But here's what I've observed. When you make this one change, when you replace evening plain water with Tart cherry juice, it often becomes a gateway to other better choices. Because once you sleep well one night, you want to sleep well the next night. Once you experience what genuine rest feels like, you're more motivated to protect it. You might start choosing a calming activity in the evening instead of watching stimulating content. You might start a short walk in the afternoon instead of sitting all day. These changes happen naturally when you experience the benefit of better sleep. Think about it like this. Your sleep is like a garden. Tart cherry juice is removing one major weed, but for the garden to really thrive, you want the soil to be right too. You want the sunlight at the right time of day. You want the temperature to be appropriate. You want the water schedule to match the plant's needs. So while we're talking about what to drink, let me mention what else supports the full picture. You want to finish eating about 3 hours before bed. Your body can't both digest a heavy meal and prepare for sleep at the same time. You want light to start dimming in your evening. This supports melatonin production. You want your bedroom to be cool, around 65 to 68 degrees if possible. And you want to move your body during the day, even if it's just a gentle walk. All of these things work together, but the drink, this is your starting point. This is the one thing that makes the biggest difference for many people, and it's something you can control immediately. Now, let me address something I know some of you are thinking. Juice has sugar, right? Isn't that bad before bed? Here's the nuance. Tart cherry juice does have natural sugars, but the amount in a small serving is minimal. And more importantly, the natural sugars in fruit come packaged with fiber and other compounds that your body processes differently than refined sugar. 1 to 2 ounces of Tart cherry juice is not the same metabolically as eating a donut or drinking soda. Your body recognizes the whole food source and processes it accordingly. That said, if you're diabetic or managing blood sugar carefully, you can dilute the juice more. Use 1 ounce of juice to 7 or 8 ounces of water. You still get the benefit of the melatonin and anthocyanins, but with a lower sugar impact. Or, if you prefer, you can use Tart cherry concentrate. which is even more concentrated and requires an even smaller amount. And here's another option. Some people respond beautifully to chamomile tea instead. Chamomile has been used for centuries to support calm and sleep. It's completely different from tart cherry juice in terms of compounds, but it works through a similar mechanism. It's supporting your body's natural evening rhythms. A warm cup of chamomile tea, sipped slowly in the early evening, can be equally effective for some people. The key is finding what works for your body. So let's talk about the practical reality of doing this. You need to find tart cherry juice. You can find it in most grocery stores now, often in the juice section. Sometimes it's in the health food section. You're looking for juice that says tart cherry, not just cherry. You can also find tart cherry concentrate online, which is even more convenient because you just add a teaspoon to water. The cost is minimal. A bottle of tart cherry juice costs maybe $4 or $5, and one bottle lasts several weeks if you're using it correctly. Compare that to the cost of sleep medications, or the cost of the lost productivity and health that comes from chronic sleep deprivation. And this is an incredibly economical choice. The commitment is small. You're talking about one glass of a drink you already know how to consume. This isn't like starting an exercise routine that requires time and motivation. This is about shifting what you already do, and the potential benefit is enormous. Imagine what your life looks like when you're sleeping 7 to 8 hours straight every night. Your immune system functions better. Your mood improves. Your thinking is clearer. You have energy for activities you enjoy. You're less irritable with people you love. These aren't small things. I want to share one more perspective that comes from my years working with seniors on sleep. Often, when someone has been waking in the middle of the night for years, there's a psychological component too. You expect to wake up. Your brain is almost prepared for it. So even when you make a change that should help you sleep through, sometimes your mind wakes you out of habit. This is where the ritual of the drink becomes even more powerful. As you sit with your warm cup of tart cherry tea, or as you slowly sip your diluted juice, you're not just giving your body the compounds it needs, you're signaling to your mind that something has changed. This is a new evening routine. This is the evening where sleep is going to be different. You're preparing your mind for rest, not just your body. Some people find it helpful to pair this with a few minutes of calm breathing as they sip their drink. Nothing complicated. Just breathing in for a count of 4, holding for a count of 4, exhaling for a count of 6. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the part that says it's safe to rest. Combined with the natural melatonin from the juice, you're creating a powerful 1-2 combination. Here's what I'd love to hear from you in the comments. If you try this tonight, what's one other small change you're going to make to support your sleep? Are you going to dim the lights earlier? Are you going to take a walk during the day? Are you going to move your bedtime earlier? Tell me in the comments what you're committing to, because I genuinely believe that when you voice these intentions, you're more likely to follow through. And I read the comments. I want to hear how this works for you. I want to say clearly, this information is for educational purposes and represents what research shows about sleep support in seniors. If you're taking medications, especially blood thinners or certain supplements, check with your doctor before adding tart cherry juice to your routine, just to make sure there are no interactions. Your doctor knows your full medical picture, and it's always wise to have that conversation. But for most healthy seniors looking for a natural way to support better sleep, this is safe, gentle, and evidence-based. In our next video, we're going to talk about something that might surprise you. The way you're exercising during the day might actually be keeping you awake at night. We'll talk about the timing of movement that supports sleep, and some gentle practices that are more effective than you'd expect. If you want to be notified when that drops, make sure you're subscribed and that you've hit the notification bell. Before you go, I want to leave you with this thought. Sleep isn't a luxury, it's a biological necessity, and you deserve to experience deep, restorative sleep every single night. You've earned rest. Your body knows how to do this. Sometimes it just needs a little support. And often, that support is something as simple as the right drink at the right time. Tonight, when you're winding down, I want you to try this. Find that tart cherry juice or brew that chamomile tea. Sip it slowly. Notice how it feels. Notice the shift in your body and your mind. And then, when you wake up tomorrow morning having actually slept through the night, you'll know that this change was worth it. Thank you for spending this time with me. Take care of yourself. You're worth the investment.